Hello and welcome to the Wrestling Corner, episode 12. I say it every week, we are going through this very quick. I am obviously your host, Rowan, joined by my co-host, Simon.
Hello.
How are you today?
Doing all right. It's been quite nice, to be honest, to have
not as much wrestling
after WrestleMania.
It's been a calm.
Yeah, it sounds like I feel like sometimes on here I sound like I hate wrestling quite a bit. I don't. I just far too much of it, which is my fault. I don't have to watch it all. But
when you do get a big pay-per-view week, and it's like, okay, we need a break.
Yeah, it's been quite nice, really. Especially because NXT's not gone up on WWE Network yet, so I've not watched. I've watched even less than I normally would.
And it was good though. It was a nice break. There were actually some decent things. I think especially Raw yesterday was actually surprisingly a good show. But we will start off with what we normally start off with, and that is AEW. The show started off with Lance Archer against Alan Angels. Easy squash match. It was more just typing the first round matchup between Archer and Colt Cabana. And that was it. Before the show, Jake Snake was doing a promo on Cody, just basically saying you are not ready for Lance Archer, more or less. Then we did have Britt Baker versus Hikaru Shida. It's Hikaru Shida's 10th week as number one title contender. Could actually quite a decent back and forth, but I think the main thing in the match is Britt Baker's nose just got absolutely busted open, and there was just this great shot of Shida just in the background, and Britt Baker just staring down as blood streaming down from her nose. Really cool shot. Shida got the win, which I was surprised with, but considering she's been built up as the contender to Nyla Rose, I suppose you need to give her the win.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Baker versus Shida, and I wasn't looking forward to it going into it.
No, sir.
I think it was just because, like, down the stretch, as soon as Baker's nose got busted open, it just sort of drew you in, and I was like expecting them to. And they just went for like a really good extra 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It will be interesting to see when Nyla Rose returns, because obviously with their lockdown and pandemic and stuff, I know they filmed a lot, but I'm guessing because Tony Khan did come out and say, like, if you don't want to travel and stuff and etc., your place on the card won't be affected because it's something that we can't control. So it will be interesting, like, when will Nyla Rose return, considering she is the champion.
I kind of forget Nyla Rose is the champion, really.
Yeah, it's because she hasn't been on for a month, neither.
Yeah, it feels like longer.
Yeah, it does.
I can't remember last time before.
But Shida is more or less the number one contender now, so she may get the match, she may not. After this, we had a backstage promo with Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa. Basically saying it's been like Kenny was going, it's been 6-7 years, we were a good team before, but we need a new name. Nakazawa replied with the Best Friends. Kenny was like, there already is a team called the Best Friends. And then it cuts to a door open inside from the trailer, and Orange Cassidy popped out. Basically, he was just listening to the entire conversation. He let Trent and Chucky T in, and they put the name on the line. So if Kenny and Nakazawa won, they would get the team name The Best Friends with the match. Didn't know that, but it makes a match a little bit more interesting because Kenny's in there. No offense to Michael Nakazawa. After this, there was a hype package for tomorrow's match, which I can't wait for, which is Hager challenging John Moxley in an empty arena no holds barred match. Now, we've had a lot of no holds barred last man standing kind of matches. It'll be interesting to see what they do, and also empty arena. I'm guessing it's going to be in the Jag Stadium, is my guess. So it'll be interesting to see sort of what they go for with this.
What's this? Oh yeah, the Moxley Hager thing.
The empty arena. Yeah.
Empty arena. No, I just think they'll do it in where they are currently, because I don't know. Well, they've obviously already got it taped.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've taped so much that.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I don't really know. I think it'll be a good match, but I wouldn't put Jake Hager and Empty Arena together, because Empty Arena is sort of like brawling all over the place, like mock suit Empty Arena, whereas I feel like Hager's more just like You don't have empty
like
arena,
in a ring.
You don't have empty arena fights in like MMA, do you?
Well,
like, do you know what I mean? And just sort of brawling around them.
No, but he could work because he's wanting this match against Thingy. Like, he's a prize fighter. He wants to be the champion because it pays more. He might put himself through this so he can get that more money. I'm guessing that's what they're going for. Like, mostly saying this is for violence.
Yeah.
Not,
the video packages were all right, but like, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm expecting them to do. Because it feels like it's had a fair bit of build, but not apart from that one interaction where mocked it the paradigm shift and then he got straight back up and got him in an ankle lock. It was a bit
nothing really.
Do you know what I mean?
It could be a good match. It could be a good match, but we'll wait and see. After that, we did have the tag team match of the Best Friends versus Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa. One thing that was interesting was Sean Spears was on the outside, so basically shouting Nakazawa impressed me because he's looking for a tag team partner. And we'll talk about it later, but I do feel sorry for Spears. I feel like they haven't done anything for him.
Yeah, Spears is a weird one because I loved his match against Cody, but apart from that, I've not been into anything that he's done. But that's probably because he's been booked pretty terribly.
Yeah, it's either they don't have anything for him or they don't know what to do. Like, do you book him as this tenured guy? Because he has been wrestling for so long, but you've got quite a lot of them in your company already. How do you sort of place him in his character?
I don't know.
It's a strange one because he was great. He wasn't great in WWE, but he was good. Like Ty Dillinger, Perfect 10 was good. Main roster not so good, but NXT he was liked. He was entertaining. Yet
people like the champ. People didn't like Ty Dillinger.
Did they? I didn't mind him.
But you could have given the 10 to anybody. It'd have been over. Sure. You know what I mean? Like the only good. The thing, Dillinger had a couple of good Royal Rumble entrances, and he had a really good match with Bobby Roode at the Takeover.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it was like as soon as he got to the main roster, I think it was kind of obvious that they're all going to go downhill.
Like a lot of NXT superstars that we see.
Oh, that's harsh. It's been a good week for NXT on Raw this week.
No way, Jose.
No
way, Jose. Who else? Leo Rush.
Leo Rush went on Raw.
I'm on about in terms of NXT call-ups.
Oh, I don't know. I'd say Leo Rush were a success.
Was he 205 champ?
Cruiserweight champion, hype man of Lashley.
Okay, I'll give you Rush, but there have been many others who just haven't lived up to the
Adam Rose.
Adam Rose, Cesaro, even though he's been on Mania and stuff.
I'd say Cesaro's a success.
Cesaro should be higher than what he is, though.
He should, but he has picked up quite a lot of tag titles, US titles, Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. I think people look back on Cesaro, obviously he could be main event, and everyone knows that, but you know what I mean? If it meant
no, it meant to be. It's not meant to be.
I couldn't actually imagine Cesaro main event, and I don't know why. Because in the ring he can do everything, but
it's out of the ring.
He's just not. Yeah, he's not WWE's kind of guy.
I know, and it's unfortunate because he is great. But we'll go back to AEW, which meant with the Best Friends picking up the win. Trent pinning Nakazawa. Great result. Kenny Omega doesn't look weak. Nakazawa can eat losses as much as he wants. The Best Friends actually. Oh, why?
I just thought it was a bit jarring. How I don't understand how we could go from Omega versus Trent in a 19-minute classic the week before to just a comedy match a week later. I don't understand Michael Nakazawa. I don't get him. From that match against Alex Jabali at Fyter Fest.
Yeah. He is their comedy guy. Most companies have a comedy guy, and I do think Nakazawa is that. He's a bit stupid. I do like the pairing of Kenny and him. Kenny is this very serious, one of the best wrestlers in the world. Nakazawa is this not the most I'm trying to think the word, because he's not bad at wrestling. He's the comedy guy, and so you put them two together.
I personally stopped finding funny. Like I feel like they should have been on Dark. I know wrestling's a variety show, but
yeah,
I just find it a look like Omega will probably come out this week and have like a 15-minute insane match against like Kip Sabian or something, like, you know, and like it'll just be sandwiched between a comedy match, like.
But I think that's why you've got Nakazawa there to sort of show that Kenny Omega just isn't this big bat machine who puts on these maze matches. He's someone that if he's put with someone else, he could still make an impact. Like they still made the loss, but they still made the loss, but it's still Kenny Omega didn't look weak from it. The best friends didn't. Nakazawa can look weak. He is their best jobber they've got because his losses do come easy.
The reason I think I didn't mind it so much is because like it's Kenny Omega's company, innit? Like he ain't gonna go out and book himself every week. Like he obviously knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it was like I don't know why this was the first one that came to mind. Like, right, Lord Tensai.
Okay.
So Lord Tensai got clean wins over Cena and just like loads of other people within his first few months. Barely a few months down the line, it was in comedy matches with tons of funk. And like you knew from that point, he was never going to recover. And I'm not comparing Kenny Omega doing comedy matches to being in tons of funk. All I'm saying is Vince probably found it hilarious. Whereas Omega knows what he's doing. Whereas I doubt Vince booking Tensai Strong was the best, the most. I don't know why I've picked this example. It doesn't work.
It does work.
Probably another one.
Curse, absolutely. I think what they do though is they can find a blend. Like a lot of the Young Bucks matches in Ring of Honor were these amazing ones, and then you see I watching PWG highlights, and they just be doing some of the stupidest things. Like I watched the Young Bucks had Adam Cole versus Dalton Castle and Red Dragons of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly were the boys, and so they were doing the stupidest things in PWG. Yet a week later they'd be having these match of the year candidates, and I think that's how you work. As long as
different, I'd just say different promotions is like different continuities.
True.
Do you not like I watched NGW where Pete Dunne was a jobber.
Yeah.
And like Progress, he'd be like top guy or something. I think. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. For me,
I see where you come from.
Yeah, because like for me, when I see Michael Nakazawa in the match, I know that it's not going to be this best bout. It's going to be a match where Kenny's probably going to have to do a lot of the work and stuff like that. And the best friends are going to have to try to overcome the best wrestler in the world. But a good talking point. We'll move on to two promos now. We had one from the Exalted Brody Lee. He pulled up in a Mercedes. His minions were waiting for him. He said, "I am here to make every single life I touch extraordinary. And when it gets laborious, don't know, when it becomes a sacrifice to you.
No idea.
And when it becomes a sacrifice to you, that means you are looking at the exit ramp and not the highway ahead where the next side reads unlimited power, unlimited success." And then Brody pointed to one of the minions who was wearing a necktie and said he had a job for him, and he escorted him through a back door marked with a sign that read AEW. Didn't get the promo. After this, we had a Matt Hardy promo from the compound. Hardy called for Vanguard 1, who was set fire to the show that he took from Jericho last week. And he called it a dumpster fire. He said this is what's going to happen to the inner circle. Myself and the elite shall delete them. And then Hardy challenged Les Champions. I have a very special offer for you. Accept my invitation. Come to the Hardy compound. Face me in the elite deletion.
Yeah, they were both all right, weren't they? They were just.
Yeah. Well, Jericho was on commentary all night, and it was good.
Oh yeah. We haven't mentioned Jericho. Like if we were to mention everything Jericho
said, we'd be here all week.
We'd just be here all day. But Jericho was at his best. Like in the comedy match, like that's for me what made it bearable, because he was having the best time
out of it. Yeah.
You compare what Jericho, who isn't a commentator, to what Jerry Lawler did on Raw last night.
The Akira Tozawa thing.
Yeah.
Jeez, we'll talk. I'm going to mention it because it is thingy, but the Elite deletion could be fun if it's like the final deletion and stuff. I'm looking forward to it. The problem is, when is it going to happen? Because we could get this tease for 3 months now, and it's still made. I think the thing for them now is keep this momentum going to Blood and Guts and stuff, where you can still have it, if you know what I mean, in terms of people still look forward to that. After this, we had a jobber match. Lee Johnson versus the Exalted One. Johnson tried for a dropkick as the bell rang, but he was swatted away by the Exalted One. Mr. Brody used a senton on the opponent and then a spinning slam. He followed up with a spinning discus lariat, making short work of him. After this, we did... Go on.
The Brody Lee squash matches aren't as effective as the Lance Archer ones.
No.
Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like a lot of people haven't seen Lance Archer before, and we need to learn what he's all about. Whereas, I don't know, I feel like Brody Lee could quite easily have been in the TNT tournament over someone like Spears. But
then you'd have to have Cody going over Brody. Yeah, I'm guessing they're not wanting to put Brody Lee with someone big. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. Someone's missing here. I'm not quite sure what it is.
I genuinely, it's happened more times recently. I've preferred the hype over the reveal. Like, I was so excited for the Exalt one, like the promos, he is coming, the sort of the cultist style of the guy, the preacher, and then
it's because fantasy book in your head, like so many things that could happen.
Things, even if it was Brody Lee, I don't know what I'd like. I'd like to see more of a cult thing in terms of, I like the fact that there is this cult leader and he punishes his minions. I want to see him though actually use these minions to his thing. Like, when he comes out, he brings 6. I know they can't do it now because of the clock, like everything's gone, but he brings 6 minions with him who surround the ring every single match. Like, make use of this position he's got as the Exalted One, rather than just coming out by himself.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether, like, it may well just be because, in the same way as lots of other wrestlers, they just want to stay home. But it does feel like Grayson and Uno have just been completely swatted to one side.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about it with other shows as well. Sorry, we'll just say, like, for the next 3 months, 2 months, it is going to be weird because there'll be wrestlers who are not going to be on that show that should be. Like, we'll have Roman Reigns not on SmackDown for nearly 2 months. That is going to be weird.
The news is, isn't it, that they might not be able to put people back in arenas until late 2021.
I saw that and I thought, Jesus.
Really going to have Roman Reigns off TV for a year and a half. I mean, I know it's up to him, but
I think they will. Which would make it, which I'd like. It could be good because I'd like his return, like, just dude, after a year.
Let's face it, if he's off for that amount, anybody who's off for that amount of time, and then their music hits back in an arena, it could be the Colognes. Like, it'll be a big deal.
It's going to be very interesting. See, I didn't know about late. I thought it was like late 2020. Like, I thought it was all to do with how if the virus, if Cuba comes along.
I don't know. Well, it's just confusing because they're on about not letting people into arenas until like late 2021, but then you've got Trump saying that he wants to lift the restrictions in the US back in 2 weeks. Like, I'm not sure anyone knows what's going on.
No, same. Like,
I mean,
as much as and I'd like, as much as I'd like my shows and I'd like a lot of stuff. At the end of the day, that's my alarm. At the end of the day, you just want everything to be all right so that we can get this as soon as possible.
Safety first, right? Like, wrestling isn't essential. Like, most people pay for the network. There's over 10,000 hours of content. Like, we're not starved for it. You know what I mean?
What AEW. I wish WWE had the thing of, why don't we spend this whole week recording as much content, even if it's 2 matches for a show, and then they splice in halfway through the match they put on a WrestleMania 30 match. As crap it would be for the live show, you're still getting consistent feuds, but they're not drawn out because you only get 2 matches on the show. And then people are not having to travel in and out. We had Jerry Lawler, who's a 70-year-old who has heart problems, flying out.
I'm going to raise that point.
Like, let's say he...
Just ridiculous.
Like,
yeah, they
let's say
are a company with
no. If they come into contact, if Lawler comes into contact with one person, he's more or less done for, isn't he?
Well, yeah, there's one employee who's meant to have got it, not like an active wrestler,
but on screen. So I was thinking it could either be Byron, Tom Phillips, Lawler, Cole, Corey.
Why are you just going through commentators?
Well, it said on-screen personnel, so they're on. And then I was thinking managers. So they said it's not a wrestler.
On-screen personnel. I thought it was just like a production trip.
I'm pretty confident they said one behind the scenes and then one on-screen personnel has got it as well.
Oh, right.
Had it. I'm pretty confident.
I'm going to speculate. Like if whoever has got it, we're not going to have seen him.
Oh no.
No, so
it could be anyone because we haven't seen many people.
Not Jerry Lawler.
No, because Jerry Lawler is still going. Jerry Lawler must have a. Someone tweeted, not Charlie Lawler has a say, when Lawler does have a say, but if it were up to Lawler, he'd be wrestling in the ring. So obviously, so WWE are going to have to let him commentate because that's what he wants. But we'll go back to AEW and we'll go to the main event. Sean Spears, the chairman, Sean Spears, versus the American Nightmare. Some do consider Jerry Lawler as the Sean Spears of AEW. No, Sean Spears versus Cody. I always want to say Cody Rhodes versus the American Nightmare Cody. Great back and forth match. And it just proves why Spears is so good. Obviously, he's got good charisma with Cody, but still.
Yeah, the match was. It was all right.
Yeah.
I never expected Spears to win. Like, they know each other really well.
That's
and,
the problem.
I think they do like a nice little backdrop onto like a barricade.
Mm-hmm.
Cody went through it. Not quite sure how that into DQ, but we'll go with it.
Spears was the typical heel doing some little dirty stuff. They did go through a table though.
I didn't like him kicking out of Rick 2 Crossroads. Like,
why?
Yes. Why? No. The Crossroads should be like a sacred move.
It should be. I feel like this is leading for Cody to get a new finisher, just because people have started kicking out of it. He's having to hit more. People are kicking out of it more.
It's a bit happening
because it is a great finisher as well. The Crossroads,
yeah,
like the spin and the drop.
Oh, and the finish here was a bit weird. Like, as soon as you hear the referee counting 1 or 2, if you're in that figure 4, you just sit up and like try and swing for Cody.
We've seen it a lot this week.
You want to keep your shoulders on that.
We saw it last week with Mania of how surely you stop doing what your submission and stop doing what you're doing and just
when a figure 4 gets applied, the pain makes you sit up. Like, you don't lay back. I didn't. It's
the correct result.
It's not a major problem.
The correct result, just a poor ending.
Yeah, like WWE are like violating people's health in the midst of a global pandemic, and the worst we can say about AEW is that a figure 4 pins someone. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? There's levels to it.
There is. All right, episode of AEW. Again, we say every week there was nothing horrendous.
It's just consistent.
There was nothing amazingly good. Obviously, tomorrow we've got the empty arena match, which could be good.
That's all it needs to be at this point. Just consistent.
Which, considering they filmed it all in this bit, all together, I think it will be like they don't have to worry about people not making it to the show because they've already filmed it all. But that was AEW. I'm going to give it again 3 out of 5. We normally do.
3. Yeah. I'm not sure what to push it into a 4. No. Yeah, 3 out of 5. Cool.
But we will go on to, there we go, NXT. The show started off with the number 1 contenders ladder match between Io Shirai, Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox, and Chelsea Green. Obviously with Raquel Gonzalez and Robert Stone on the outside. There were many sort of like things in this match. So you started off with the 3 babyfaces in the match teaming up on Dakota. And then they obviously eventually start brawling. We had Dakota and Tegan just back and forth in some really nice spots. Tegan had just pushed Mia Yim and Raquel Gonzalez through a table, sort of screaming at Raquel Gonzalez, saying, "This is what you deserve." And then Dakota Kai just comes out. I think it was either a big elbow or a big knee. Tegan Knox, boom, straight through a ladder. Looked really nice, like a lovely spot. Io and Candice just had a great back and forth of suplex. There was a spot where Io just threw Candice back, and she just landed on a ladder, but she landed on the top of her back and just slid off. It looked horrible. Mia Yim and Chelsea Green had a back and forth. Mia Yim into Chelsea Green's knee. You had Robert Stone on the outside fanning it with a fan to make it better. Them two were great in this match. Chelsea Green being this spoiled, entitled brat, and Robert Stone then trying to win it for her more or less. He climbs up the ladder, lifts Chelsea Green up, and they both end up getting pushed off by, I think it was Mia Yim. Can't remember. They finished the game though with Io Shirai punting LeRae off and then climbing to the top, picking up, I think it's a briefcase, and that will make her the number one contender against Charlotte Flair. What are your opinions? If you've seen any of the match or the result, at least.
I have seen not a single minute of NXT. But yeah, Io Shirai was probably the right person to have win. But it is the right match, and I'm sure it will be a good match. But I'm not particularly bothered about Shirai. I don't like Charlotte Flair. Them two together doesn't sort of. I don't have much conversation, but it'll be a good match.
Mm-hmm.
I just won't look forward to it.
But when you can watch this ladder match, because it was fun. Another spot was Raquel Gonzalez eventually does get in the ring while Io Shirai is on top of the ladder. And so she starts pushing the ladder off. Shirai jumps on the top rope and jumps off into a bunch of the wrestlers. They were just nice. There was a lot of good spots and then little intertwining feuds as well.
I'm looking forward to watching it.
Like a good ladder match that was it. Great spots, great interlining feuds. You can't go wrong, but really good match. After this, we had Indus Sher defeating Everrise. So that's Rinku and Sarada.
Apparently, Finn Balor sent a message to Walter. What was this about?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So it was just a backstage promo, more just saying he's coming for you, Walter. Obviously, because of TakeOver
he's
Dublin.
In 6 months' time.
6 months, 4 months, we don't know, but he is coming for him. Then he showed sort of a hype package of him taking down Imperium. Yep. Then after we did have Indus Sher defeating Everrise. Malcolm Bivens is great. He's so good.
Is he? What? I feel like he shouldn't be with these two.
He shouldn't be with these two, for sure.
I'm not going to comment, but I feel like these are really serious, and I feel like Malcolm Bivens is full of banter.
I think, I'd like them to Malcolm Bivens to be someone who could bounce off of him, but it works well as he's going to be their mouthpiece, and he's a great talker. They may have to alter in terms of how serious he gets and stuff, but in terms of just having a top on the mic, he's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, squash match. It's what it needed to be.
I on Bleacher Report here. I know because we're going to come on to it. They've got Gargano versus Ciampa down as an F. Now, Tom Campbell on Cultaholic had it down as an A+, I think. What the hell happened?
It was very contrasting. So the show opened up with Gargano. Well, it started off with Gargano getting out of the car, starting to walk over. Candice comes over, starts getting the car, gets something out of the car, hands it to Johnny. It looks like just a brown paper bag with something in it. I'll be honest, I completely forgot about it. Candice gets in the car and drives away. Let me just turn off Messenger because that was pinging through. Candice gets in the car and drive away. Then Triple H is just sat there on a chair that's leaned up against the second rope, just like the most chilled person ever. Gargano walks in, no sound. It's just an empty arena, basically. It was just a ring, hard cam and one cameraman, and that was it. No music. Gargano walks in, Ciampa walks in. They sort of stared at each other for a while. What are they going to do? Quick brawls. Gargano just attacking Ciampa's repaired knee. He used a steel chair on the shoulder and neck of Ciampa. Then Ciampa turned it around, basically attacking Gargano. There was a lot of verbal things, just sort of hatred. Like, do you know when you've got feuds in there, a hate feud? It was typical of that.
Was it at all like Edge versus Orton?
It was quicker, but it had the same passion.
Right.
Okay. Then Ciampa did a crutch spot and then a powerbomb through the table. So then it was a nice little brawl inside the arena. There wasn't the set, but there wasn't much around. There was just a couple of tables with water, a couple of chairs, nothing amazing. And then Gargano gets outside, lures Ciampa in, slamming him into do you know the big trailers they've got outside of the Performance Center? They've got the NXT.
People can say, why was it on the truck? Like, apparently it was like just really random.
Well, it's just, I'm guessing they needed it to be a bit more wacky. So yeah, hitting into the trailer. They got to the top of the trailer and they were just battling on top of that. I don't know why they went up to the trailer, but they hit a couple of spots onto that. Gargano sort of escaped, got into the ring. Then this is where it sort of started picking up. Gargano had him, it was calling sort of Ciampa a failure, was talking about Ciampa's daughter Willow, saying he was a mistake, and that sort of flipped it in Ciampa's favour. More in terms of Ciampa just got up, all aggressive. Do you know when Ciampa gets angry and his veins in his head go proper large?
Yeah.
Like, it was that thing. It hit Willow's belt on, so the ring had actually been opened. Exposed, hit Willow's bell onto it, which sort of looked like, do you remember when they had the match in Chicago Street Fight? It sort of was giving the feel of that. The whole ring open, Gargano thingy. Drake Works was unable to counter because Gargano evaded Ciampa's knee, running knee, so he got knocked out by it. Drake Works got knocked out of it. One thing that was interesting, there's a lot of talk about this match. Before the match, Triple H said, Drake is here. He's only here to give the winner. So there was no typical where he's like, oh, stop that. He was just there watching, which I sort of liked in this place there.
This
sorry, I'm just having a drink.
I would say this doesn't look like it's my kind of match, if I'm being quite honest.
It was okay.
Apparently it was just really slow. Like, I don't.
It started off quick and then it turned quite slow. I preferred the ending. So the ending did come. Both men appear completely spent after the thing. Lorraine enters the ring and basically she was just pleading with him like to stop. Like, she said, I'll finish it if you can't, because Ciampa sort of was just refusing to do anything. He was apologizing to Gargano, saying, I'm sorry. Like, he was overcome with emotion and stuff. And she went, if you can't do it, I'll do it. Turns and just hoofs Gargano in the dick with a lovely low blow. Gargano drops, falls. Ciampa looks at her like a thingy.
Yeah.
But then sort of Ciampa didn't want to do anything because Lorraine's just done this. He just held on to him, just going like, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. And sort of Gargano's laid down. Ciampa sort of stands up. Oof! Big another kick in the balls. Lorraine didn't leave. And then it's just the most smuggish reveal. She starts smiling. Gargano just looks up, pulls a cup. The thing that AJ Styles and Nakamura needed to have, they did it. He pulls a cup from out of his pants, just throws it at Ciampa. Boom, fairy tale ending on the wooden boards, 1, 2, 3. Gargano picks up the win. Gargano, and then after the match, Gargano and Lorraine walked away, very heelish. In the background, you did see a car that was next to him that looked like Killer Cross and Scarlet Bordeaux.
Right.
The match, but
the thing I struggle to get on board with is like I don't get how Johnny Gargano's the heel. Like it's jarring.
See, he turned on Ciampa, I suppose, in the most recent term.
Ciampa turned on him. Like tit for tat. There's
He was the most recent one.
Everything Johnny has said in this feud has been justified. It's like AJ Styles in the build to WrestleMania when he's like, you should have retired Mark Calloway. And it's like, yeah, it's a fair point.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the ending, I'll be honest with you. Like, Candice has become sort of stagnant in the women's division. Make her this heel. Why not? You've got a couple of heels on the roster, but she's just done one of the most.
Did
like
she
she's interfered in
wrestle in the ladder match?
Pardon?
Did she wrestle as a heel in the ladder match?
No, she was face. Which I like because then it just comes out of nowhere. Because when she hoofs Gargano, like I sort of understand she's been sort of getting angry at him recently. Then when Ciampa finally just stand up and you just get the other hoof.
She'll still be a face though, won't she?
Probably, I don't know, but I don't think
this wasn't a heel turn. This wouldn't have been.
Well, I think it was the way she was acting after the match, because obviously that's what she gave to Gargano, the cup. After the match, she was smiling as Gargano on the wood, and they both walked out hand in hand, smiling, laughing, more or less. So I think she is a heel.
In the context of this, and I just think she's siding with her husband. Like, if they didn't do anything in the ladder match, like, can you see where I'm coming from? Like,
I know what you mean, but because in the past couple of weeks, she hasn't been siding with her husband. In fairness, she's been going, "What are you doing? Why are you like this?" So I think this is a heel turn. I'd guess.
It just wouldn't make sense for when she goes back to wrestling, though.
Oh, she just wrestles a heel, that's all.
Yeah, but look at the gear, look at the theme. They changed.
They did it with Io Shirai, and they've done it with Loris, and they changed the theme like that and the gear.
Nah, this wasn't about Candice though. This were about Gargano and Ciampa.
Oh yeah,
side bit.
I really liked it.
I feel a bit in the dark commenting. But...
Yeah, I think if you watch it, it might change your opinion.
Okay.
But that was NXT. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I do think it was better than AEW just because you had these two you only had 3 matches, but the 2 matches, the standout ones were great.
Yeah, no comment. I look forward to watching it a week late.
Before we go into SmackDown, we'll just talk about sort of the biggest news out of wrestling this week, which is that the Florida government initially deemed WWE as not essential. So they would have had to follow all the rules of no work and stuff. But basically, after they had a bit of a chat, they are now deemed essential, which, I mean, first of all, do you think they're essential?
No, I think it's quite disgraceful that they've been deemed so.
I know.
There's no 2 ways about it, yeah.
They're not essential. Like, what are they bringing? Yes, they are a TV company that brings entertainment, but there are many other TV shows which have halted production because of this. They're not the only ones, and they won't be the final ones to do it. I think it is very much a political thing. Obviously, Linda McMahon has got a political stance. She's probably got a bit of standing.
I read something about, isn't WWE one of the biggest donors to the Trump Foundation? Also?
One of them, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think there's.
Well, the mates with Trump.
Yeah. Well, they'll be paying the Florida sort of state off with that Saudi money.
They'll be doing something for sure.
Yeah.
I just think with everything that's going on, you can't put your wrestlers at risk. In terms of all the wrestling companies have stopped. Ring of Honor have stopped. New Japan I think have only just started to come back, and they're only allowing Japanese wrestlers to wrestle.
I don't have Netflix, but this is another Dark Side of the Ring episode in the making.
It's not on Netflix. Dark Side of the Ring ain't on Netflix. It's on YouTube.
Is it? Is it?
It's on YouTube.
I thought it was a Netflix series. Is it?
No. Oh no, it wouldn't be on Netflix. Right, well, it's nothing to do with WWE. WWE don't make it.
No, but I just thought it's a Vice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know WWE won't make it. WWE only put out propaganda.
I know. Actually, no, I'm not. I watched them. They released 2 things this week. One was called The Main Event, which is a film about a young kid who finds a wrestling mask.
Apparently, it's just
when he puts it, he does look like it. When he puts it on, he gets these superpowers. And it's actually quite fun. So you have Rick Buggs, who plays... Did you ever watch Southpaw Regional Wrestling?
Yeah, but I didn't find it funny.
It wasn't funny. Do you know Rusev's character, who was like a farmer?
Yeah.
Rick Buggs basically plays that.
Right.
Otis plays a heel. Mia Yim is in it. Who else is in
I like
it?
Rick. We all like Rick. It's been over a year since Rick Boogs was on main roster.
Eric Bugenhagen.
Where's he gone?
Why did you change his name? Eric Bugenhagen is one of the best names in wrestling.
He wants Bugenhagen back.
Who else is in it? Keith Lee is one of the main wrestlers in it. And he plays bass. I think is he called the Smooth Operator? And he just sings everything.
Right.
Because if you don't know, Keith Lee's got an amazing voice. Who else is in it? The Miz is in it. Kofi's in it. It's okay. It's your typical kids movie, but it's fun. It's light-hearted. The Big Show has just come out as well. Again, it's pretty crap, but it's your typical American family show. What other news has been? The XFL has filed for bankruptcy, which will affect the
I still think there's more to say about essential business. Just like the practicality of flying everybody out each week. It's just, it's so wrong. They've not yet confirmed where Money in the Bank is going to be held, but it's obviously
Performance Centre.
But then they've not got a pay-per-view lined up for June. Because I think they were going to go to Saudi Arabia. But obviously
they can't.
They can't. But then again, it just wouldn't surprise me if they will.
Oh, it wouldn't, but I don't think they...
I can fully just see them going to Saudi Arabia anyway.
I know they got a lot of backlash before for going to it. I genuinely think that their stock prices could go down drastically.
I know not stocks, but I've heard that they've fallen rapidly.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's actually up as of the 13th of April at 6:30 EDT. It went up 0.04,
right?
Which is 0.11%.
Is that much?
Well, if it's going up, it's good. Basically, yeah. Which I'm surprised of, considering they've been deemed essential and stuff. But people will be buying in because it's the only thing that is currently going on. That I do think if they go to Saudi Arabia, because it happened before, their stocks will go down. And you're not going to want that, especially with the XFL disbanding and stuff like that. But they can't.
XFL is quite funny, apart from everyone losing their jobs. But
I know the thing is, XFL was good. So obviously, if you've watched, you're a fan of the channel, the NFL Corner, they didn't really mention the XFL because it was an NFL show. The thing is, the XFL were getting good live numbers. The main issue that came was their viewing figures were dropping.
Right.
But I genuinely think the XFL would have continued, but because of coronavirus, they had to stop a lot of matches. They had to postpone all the matches and stuff like that, and they haven't made enough money back because these matches are not going on. And so I think we will see it again very shortly. I just think it's so unfortunate that this pandemic has come around just as it's been released. See, it was entertaining. The names for all the teams' colours were very different. It was entertaining. It's a shame.
On to SmackDown.
On to SmackDown. We will start off with the show happening with Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro ambushing Braun Strowman. This led to a match at the end of the night with Nakamura versus Strowman. I think it was for the title?
No, I don't think
but Nakamura gets a chance to beat the Universal Champion. We'll see how that goes. After this, we did have a WrestleMania rematch. The Women's Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defeated the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi. It picks up for them later. Picks up for one of them later.
You like the Kabuki Warriors, don't you?
I like them individually.
Yeah. Would you not have them team?
No, I think they're way better off. Kairi should be a face, and Asuka should be whoever Asuka can be. She's one of the best wrestlers you've got. And
I thought we'd scrap the rematch clause.
I don't think it was a rematch clause. I think
make it make sense.
It was defended, I suppose. Yeah.
No, a WrestleMania rematch. There's no you can't. Do you know what?
There's no point for it. Yeah, there's no point. We did also get a backstage segment with Carmelo and Dana Brooke come calling for Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross's title. Why do they deserve it? Why are they a tag team? We don't know.
Because they're both from New York.
Wow, they're going to be called the New York Connection, aren't they? Or something like that. The New York Warriors.
the belts should have never been a thing. Like, where are the Iconics?
Iconics, I don't genuinely, where have they gone? And that's the wrestlers who, when they finally get crowds, they will get a genuine reaction when they return.
But like, if they don't have enough teams, just don't create the titles.
I think they did it just because of the climate and they knew it'd get them buzz, and then now they don't actually know what to do with it.
It's like the 24/7 title. It was a short-term gain, long-term detriment. Like,
yeah.
Who is 24/7 champ?
Gronk.
Oh, of course he is. Oh God, when's Gronk gonna win?
I genuinely do. I'm guessing we'll get a social media thing. I'm trying to think if there's anyone who's close. I'm guessing
Mojo Rawley's got
Mojo's the one that couldn't, but obviously with lockdown and stuff. Can he be? I genuinely think Gronk can become the longest reigning 24/7 champion.
No, I think they'll say like he's self-isolated with Mojo Rawley or something, and Rawley will beat him. And Rawley will bring him back to TV.
In fact, I'd love if we got a back and forth of Mojo Rawley and Gronk just wrestling around Gronk's house. I'm guessing Rob Gronkowski has a mansion. So
you're more willing to see this than I am.
Oh, I love good shenanigans. I'm just trying to find out Rob Gronkowski house. Has he got a big? I'm guessing he's got a big house. Oh, well, no, that's a frat house. I can't believe it's just mental. You look at his description on Google. Robert James Gronkowski, nicknamed Gronk, is a former American football tight end who was a footballer on Fox Sports and an occasional wrestler for WWE, where he's the current 24/7 champion. He's the current 24/7 champion.
Yeah,
he's only 29. I know he's 30. Jesus. He could genuinely start a wrestling career, which is just strange to say.
Like, I think he's 5 years younger than Matt Riddle.
Yes, Riddle. Is Riddle 35?
Riddle's 35. No, he's 37.
Matt Riddle is... It says he's 53. There we go. No, it's all right. That was 1986. They were born 14. Yeah.
So
yeah, 4 years older.
Riddle learned how to wrestle in about 2 years. Gronk could take over in 4 years' time.
Why does it say he was born in 1966? I want to know what this now. It's not giving me a reason. But yeah, so genuinely, Gronk could be a wrestler in the space of 2 years. So he's young in terms of wrestling. I thought he was a lot older than he was. But we'll go back to SmackDown, where Dolph Ziggler defeated Tucker. Go with Tucker. Where's Otis and Mandy?
Working out.
But, come on, you're going to have them on your show. After everything that's gone on.
You've got to keep bodies to a minimum.
True. Keep bodies to a minimum. Let's keep on doing live shows, though.
Otis is self-isolating with Mandy. Otis don't need to come to work. He won the match. Job done.
True. He's got everything everyone wants, so fair play to him.
Tucker looked good in this, didn't he? He had a bit of an aggressive streak. Tucker
is a great... He's like the best wrestler out of Heavy Machinery. He's just not as entertaining.
Yeah, he's... Oh, I don't know. Yeah, the best pure, proper wrestler, but... Yeah, I don't know, because Otis has got, legitimate wrestling background. He just never uses it.
No, true. He's more of a comedy guy.
What do they call it? NCAA?
NCAA. Well, that's what Brock was, weren't it? NCAA.
Otis has got some proper, legitimate, though. Amateur wrestling.
He's a good comedy wrestler, and Tucker is actually a half decent wrestler.
It'd be cool if we saw Otis sort of take it to the mat every now and then. Show that he can
sort of take it seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes from here we go. He was at one point considered a prospect for the US Greco-Roman team at the 2012 Olympics. He was nearly on Chad Gable levels.
Yeah, and look what happened to Shorty G.
He probably lost his place in the Olympics team to Chad Gable, because that was the one that he did.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we get to see more of Otis and Mandy, because it is a nice little pairing. After this, we did have the Miz and John Morrison's dirt sheet. Was interrupted by a massive announcement for next week. So Miz and John Morrison came out and just the typical heels gloating after Morrison's performance.
Did you like them singing the song?
Yeah.
Did you think it was a little bit
cringy? Yes.
Awkward and I know it's meant to be cringy, but did you think it was the wrong time?
No,
I thought it was funny, but I've seen a lot of people thinking it just was really awkward.
For me, I love it because I've said it every week. They are dads. They are dads thinking they are funny. So doing this is like a group of 40-year-olds all going out on the lash, singing along, thinking they're amazing, when they're just not. And that's what it is. It's just a group of dads who think they're amazing.
Do you think Miz and Morrison have no on-screen chemistry?
On-screen what, sorry?
On-screen chemistry. They could be good mates, off the screen, but on the screen, I think it's just really awkward. I just like Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are they have zero on-screen chemistry.
But they're engaged. I can understand what you mean.
It just comes up. I don't know, man.
A bit forcey.
It just couldn't come off as cold. But it's a mind.
Mm-hmm. But what was announced was basically Big E reminded the WWE universe that the match was originally slated to have all six wrestlers. But Miz was who's still not medically clear to compete. But Kofi revealed that the WWE executives and Fox management had decided the A-lister will defend the titles against Big E and Jey Uso in a triple threat match next week. So that'll be a fun match. I think it'll be a very different match. I think we'll see Jey Uso do all the sort of big spots rather than when it was Morrison. I think we'll see Miz doing more of the heel work, do more of the sneaky stuff, and Big E being the power guy. I think it could be a decent match.
It'll be a really good match. Yeah. Before we come on to the next bit, have you seen Jackson Ryker's Twitter account?
No. Shall I load a bit now?
He is a COVID-19 denier.
Oh no. Are you serious?
Jackson? No, I remember. He's just a genuine. He's one of the people who says that the flu kills more people. Why are we worried?
Where's the Forgotten Son? What's his Twitter handle?
I think he's just Jackson Riker, isn't it?
I can't find it.
I don't think he's got anything fancy about it.
Right.
Jackson Riker WWE.
I found it. SmackDown Superstar. The thing is, I can't find anything because it's just all them. And oh wait. I think he might have deleted them all.
Oh well, yeah, he's probably been told to on it. But yeah, Forgotten Sons main roster debut. Who would have thought that we'd ever see it?
Who would have? I mean, they weren't really doing much, were they?
No, I didn't really know what they were going to do in NXT. Let's face it, they're just taking the Revival's place.
I forgot to say that Revival got the release, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. That's like the biggest news of the week.
I know, yeah. So if you didn't know, the Revival have got their release from WWE being granted it.
Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler.
Yeah, I'm about to say, have you got the names?
Yeah, that's who they are.
I like one of the names.
I think they've been quite clever doing this because they've released them right at the time when they know that AEW aren't going to have a crowd in for 5 months.
That just builds the hype because we saw it with the Exalted one. I think this could be a thing. They just tease.
But if it's in front of an empty arena, it don't get the same buzz.
Oh no, as in they will tease. They'll just go, they are coming.
Yeah.
We'll all know it's the Revival.
But if it wasn't, if we were just back to normal, they'd probably just hold them off until Double or Nothing and debut them and sold out 15,000.
Who are the tag champs? Kenny and Hangman. They could interfere in that. I'm guessing they'll be heels. The Revival will always be heels. Interfere in that. Beat Kenny and Hangman down. They win the titles. Kenny and Hangman now can have this back and forth. And the Revival. I wonder what they'll be called together.
I wouldn't have them win the title straight away. The Mechanics.
I can't remember. I know the trademark for the Mechanics, but I didn't know whether that was going to be their official name.
Right. But Yeah. So Revival out, Forgotten Sons in.
Yeah, Forgotten Sons, and they beat the Lucha House Party. Poor Grand Metalik and Lindsay, but
yeah, like a lot of the time when you say poor wrestler, I do find myself thinking like, oh come on, like, because I usually don't like them for some reason, but we have not. Grand Metalik will probably go down, I reckon, as one of the wrestlers who we did not even see close to what he's able to do.
No, well, I've never seen him wrestle before.
Could be like, neither have I, but I've watched like all these matches on 205 Live, like just the way he walks the ropes, like he walks the ropes like Ray Phoenix. Like, I genuinely think
he's a chunky guy, though, isn't he?
And Ray Phoenix is in my top 10 wrestlers in the world. And I just think
to find him before he became Grand Metalik. Sorry, he was called Mascara Dorado.
I think Dorado's good. Like, but
Lindsay.
Man, I think Metalik could be like big, but we're just never gonna see it.
He used to wrestle in CMLL. He's a former CMLL champion.
He's come in with quite a big reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And they've just not. No.
So if Grand Metalik was a former bloody CMLL champion, what was Lindsay Dorado?
They did Shikara.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, on the topic of luchadors, we didn't mention it, but they've announced the interim cruiserweight championship tournament.
Yeah, they have.
And El Hijo del
Have you got the wrestlers?
Is in Group A.
NXT. Yes, he is. Second NXT.
Does that put an end to the theory that Mendoza and Wilde were kidnapped by Phantasm because now he's just debuting in a tournament?
I think he could just do this tournament and he can either win or he can lose. And
I'm so buzzing though to see him because he's in the same group as Swerve, and that means we get to see Killshot the Inferno rematches.
Right, so I found the group. I didn't watch Lucha Underground.
No, see Killshot versus King Cuerno. Oh yes.
Right, okay, I've found the brackets. Not the brackets, but both groups. So Group A is Kushida, Drake Maverick. Yeah, so it's Kushida, Drake Maverick, Tony Nese, and Jay Catlus in Group A. And then in Group B, it's Isaiah Swerve's got El Hijo del Fantasma, Akira Tozawa, and Gentleman Jack Gallagher.
Yeah, see, for me, they've put the two best ones in the same group, Swerve and Phantasma.
They'll be fine to catch traffic, so just have at least consistent wrestling.
Who
is
probably going to announce 2 more groups, aren't they? Because there's still a lot of cruiserweights left over.
I'm thinking it might just be an 8-man tournament.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't do round robin with 16 people. It's had forever.
No.
Yeah, never mind.
Well, unless they do.
I don't think they have enough time.
No, unless they do a 16-man and don't change it out of a round robin, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Jake Atlas is a surprise one, though. Because they could have put the Sings. I don't know. Who else is left?
I'd rather have Jake Atlas, to be honest.
I'd rather have Jake Atlas, but he's a bit like Austin Theory on Raw. He's just come out of nowhere.
Well, he debuted last week, didn't he?
There's established cruiserweights. Drake Maverick. It's a weird one.
He's a weird one, but he has been involved, and the thing is, we haven't actually seen him wrestle, so I'm hoping we'll get to see him do the.
I know he was a wrestler for 15 years, but there's just no storyline explanation as to why he's the general manager is now whacking himself in a tournament.
Well, he's not a general manager, is he anymore?
Well, when did he lose that role?
When he got drafted to SmackDown, I'm pretty confident. Did they
say that?
I don't think so.
Did Drake Maverick get drafted to SmackDown? When did
SmackDown or what? Maverick. Yeah, I'm pretty confident he was drafted to somewhere. Drake Maverick.
Because I
he's on the SmackDown brand. Oh wait, no, he's still the general manager. Sorry, I didn't know that. Apparently.
So, why?
Oh no, he's not. I'm lying to you. He was in 255 where he served as a brand general manager from January 2018 to 2020.
I mean, they might be in the situation like Leo Rush, where Leo Rush is refusing to work any shows, but Where's Kanellis? Where's Kendrick? Where's Daivari? Where are the things?
True. I like the choices. I like that it's not just all 205 guys. It's a couple of 205s and a couple of NXT. It's the NXT champion at the end of the day.
Slowly merging sort of NXT and 205. And if this means we get people like Jake Atlas on 205 Live regularly, you know what I mean? So be it. Like, great.
You get the carriage to them, yeah. But we'll go down.
205, sorry. I really like 205 Live.
Yeah, good.
It could really do with some more wrestlers because at the moment they've only got 7 people on the roster.
Wait, 7?
7 people, yes.
Jesus.
They've got Daivari, Kendrick, Gallagher, Kanellis, The Six, and Tony Nese, and everyone else who appears comes over from NXT.
Wow.
And Kushida.
That's why I say scrap it. As good of a show it might be.
Yeah, just scrap it. Or just move them on to NXT and
slide
get rid
it to NXT slowly. Because the thing is, then does NXT get diluted and you're not getting your proper NXT show because you're having 205 Live as well, you're having cruiserweight. I suppose you wouldn't have you used to have one match a week for the cruiserweight stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We'll wait and see. Because if there's only 7 wrestlers for 205 Live and you call them up all the time, eventually some are going to be like, well, what's the point of this if I'm just being called up, like, not even on that brand.
They feel like they're in no man's land.
Yeah. But we will go back to SmackDown where Tamina made a play for Bayley SmackDown Women's Champion.
Hang on, we can't skip over Forgotten Sons. We can't skip over Forgotten Sons. All we've said is that. Did we say that?
Did. Yeah,
they won. But it wasn't a squash match. Like, it was back and forth. You know what I mean?
Like I don't. I like that because finally a debut where they don't just go da win. It's sort of thing. I'm like, oh, it's like, okay, so, they might be a bit cocky. But
Forgotten Sons, complaint number 1. Why are they heels? They're ex-Marines. That's something that we should cheer for.
Okay, but they are dicks.
Complaint number 2, their finishing move is terrible.
What is it?
So bad. So, right. So you know how Indu Share has one of them rests a man over his knee and then the other goes up to the second rope and drops a leg?
Yeah.
I think Forgotten Sons do it, but they just drop a knee.
I think I found it. If this is the ending.
It doesn't suit them and it doesn't look impactful.
So they put... Oh, I'm watching it now. He's got holds in the sort of a neck breaker. Boom. Drop. Yeah, it's not that good.
It's a bit like Jackson Riker's finish is really cool. The power on the ropes, but as a tag team, they need something else on it.
Not on the main roster. They might get something, but we'll go back to Tamina. Made a play for a bit. Yes. Tamina trainer stopped Tamina. She's fueled up and she goes again.
Now, God, they really are desperate for people, aren't they?
I saw people complaining, why aren't you doing Bayley Sasha? Bayley Sasha, they can't have it no crowd. They need a crowd. So just feed people.
They can have it with no crowd though, because you can have every like.
Oh, but this is people have been.
You had Drew McIntyre win the title.
Oh, I know. No. People have been panning for the feud, and if you just let the feud go with no crowd, like your SmackDown Women's Division thing, I say just have a Tamina feud. Have no offense, but a crappy wrestler go up against Bayley. Eventually, Bayley just starts getting cocky because she's beaten this champion for long, and eventually Sasha has enough. Ooh, 2 weeks out we can have live shows. Week before it, Sasha turns.
No, you can't hold this off for a year and a half.
I don't think you give this way a match for no crowd. There was already stuck with the feud with Drew and stuff. That was already in place before everything happened. But with this, none of it was in. It's not even started. They're still friends technically.
I get where you're coming from, and I know it might seem a bit nitpicky, but like people are still paying the same fees for the network. Like the people who are paying for the network shouldn't be shortchanged on the quality of storylines and matches that we're getting just because there's no fans.
I know, but I just for me that's that's for me.
Everyone would prefer this in Brooklyn in front of a crowd 5 years on from the takeover match.
I think you just sacrifice time. Yeah, you might lose a bit of steam, but it just means when you have Bayley and Sasha, no crowd, yes, it's going to be a great match, but that crowd can carry it to an amazing match. And that's what I think the problem. If there's no crowd for them to, they're just going to get lost in the shuffle again, and they won't feel like a big deal.
I get where you're coming from, but out of all matches that I think need a crowd, this wouldn't be the one that I'd reserve for audiences.
I don't know what I'd reserve, but I think it could be this.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tamina is basically throwing a hat in the ring, and she's practically got a few.
I mean, I don't know why, but
so basically next week, Tamina will receive a SmackDown Women's title opportunity if she can defeat Sasha Banks. So basically, next week she's got a match with Sasha. If she beats him, if she beats her, she gets the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Who's probably going to win?
Tamina, maybe just by shenanigans. Bayley tries to help, doesn't work.
Cool.
After this, we did have a squash match, which was Sheamus defeating Carl Bloom.
Right. I'd like to make a point before this starts.
Go on.
So after Sheamus hit the bro kick and won. Cool. He beat Carl Bloom. Afterwards, Michael Cole proudly declared, Sheamus is back. Sheamus debuted at the start of January. It's been 3 months since he returned. Sheamus is not back. Sheamus has been here for over a quarter of a year.
Yeah.
It bugged me. Why are you not WrestleMania?
Yeah. What would you have him in? Think you meant to win the Andre the Giant Battle Royale?
Shame. What would he have won if he had it?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Or Hardy, maybe. Because it says here the Sheamus didn't celebrate his victory as the commentators quickly moved on to talk about Jeff Hardy. So
yeah, this was a really pointless match. Sheamus is cool, but there was no need. Carl Bloom, another NXT person. I like seeing NXT people.
He hasn't really wrestled on NXT though, has he?
No, he's never been on TV.
Is he Matt Bloom's kid?
Not to my knowledge.
They've got the same second name, don't they?
Yeah.
I
don't think he's out in that.
Carl Bloom is a 10-size kid. Who's Carl Bloom? He's the son of former WWE superstar Wayne Bloom. Sorry. And Wayne Bloom, I don't know who he is. Wayne Bloom. He's an American retired. He's under his birth name with the World WWF as Boo Beverly. He teamed with Mike Enos as the Destruction Crew stars, the Beverly Brothers. So basically, no, he did nothing.
No idea.
He wrestled Goldberg on an episode of WCW Thunder.
What a moment.
Yeah.
He
did not.
Strowman versus Nakamura.
Yeah, so then we went to the main event. Strowman versus Nakamura.
Average.
First of all, average Pooh Nakamura.
Not Paul Nakamura. The guy's main event in SmackDown versus the champion's the brand's top champion.
It's just a shame that he lost, but one thing I can say is he just seems like he's enjoying life in America, so I don't think he genuinely cares.
Would you have had him win, or would you have just not had him? Would you just not win the match?
I would have had a DQ finish, like Cesaro comes in and attacks Strowman or something.
Is that not a bit of a crap way to get Strowman's reign off to a start?
Yes, but I don't care. For me, Strowman doesn't deserve it, but he's not like a champion. I can get behind.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
The match it's because he's not pulling down he's not trying to kill Roman Reigns anymore. He's just been boring for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the set up to the final bit, which wow, haven't they gone down the wrong direction here?
Nakamura obviously got pulled over running power slam. Strowman immediately faced yet another challenge for victory as Bray Wyatt appeared from inside the 551 house. His message that he was ready to let Strowman in, but Strowman didn't seem shook.
Yes. Right. What's the ending of this botched? Bray went say like bye or something, and then Strowman was like, "Oh, bye, see you later."
Oh, great accent.
It was just really. Thank you. It was just really. Oh, it was strange. Right. I'm gonna pick one problem.
Go on.
So in the Firefly Funhouse, Wyatt was like you betrayed me or something when I brought you into this company.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Strowman's fault he got drafted to Raw. Like they just got drafted to opposite brands. Like, you know what I mean? It happens.
It's like, true.
Make it make sense. Like we can easily just go back and like see that it didn't pan out like that. Like you can't just rewrite history. It's not, but it's not. It's simple storytelling. It's just continuity.
Well, Wyatt should be in the feud.
No. It should be made clear that Bray Wyatt should be absolutely nowhere near this feud. Not because he just shouldn't, like, they've booked themselves into a corner and like they've had a bit of a they've done all right in the past at booking themselves out of corners, but I mean, we said they booked themselves into a corner with Wyatt versus Goldberg, and how did they get out of it? Well, they didn't. They just ruined the Fiend.
Yeah.
And how are they going to get out of this one? I don't think Strowman know him over. But
no, I don't want him to get the title.
I don't know where this goes. Are they going to do it at Money in the Bank?
Maybe.
If it's at Money in the Bank, are we going to have the Fiend working a match in front of an empty arena against Strowman?
Well, we have.
In which case, just picture it. Picture how awkward that's going to be.
Yeah. I was thinking possibly Fiend. No, because Fiend's already sort of laid out his challenge. I would say maybe he wins the briefcase. The briefcase becomes all Fiendy.
But what, and just have Strowman do nothing at Money in the Bank?
That's the thing is, what do you do with Strowman?
Nah, because if you were going to have Wyatt in the Money in the Bank ladder match, they'd have him in like qualifiers, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but not all the qualifiers have been announced, in fairness.
I guess, but like, let's face it, the Fiend is not suited to Money in the Bank. Like, can you imagine the Fiend climbing a ladder and getting thrown off?
It doesn't make sense. Yeah,
it doesn't. It makes zero.
He just don't wrestle and then all goes black and he's still there on top of the ladders.
Yeah. Money in the Bank is made for you guys like Apollo Crews, Aleister Black. Do you know what I mean? Like you sort of your workhorse wrestlers. Wyatt is not a workhorse.
No, I mean, no. You can do a decent episode of SmackDown, I'd say.
It was fine. Hugely overshadowed. Oh no, this was pre-taped, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, this was pre-taped. So this one gets a thumbs up. Yeah. No complaints. Forgotten Son's debut. What a moment.
What a moment. But we will
be forgotten no more.
They will just get lost in the shuffle.
I know I like random NXT wrestlers that I shouldn't. And I know Forgotten Sons completely fit the bill of people I should like. I don't get them. I'd like to just bottom record think about it.
We will.
Yeah. They suit who I should like, but I don't.
So we will move on to Monday Night Raw. The show opened up with Drew McIntyre cutting just typical promo. Was interrupted by Andrade, which set up a match for the main event of the show, which would be Drew versus Andrade. United States versus WWE champion. Could have been a great match.
Right. So Andrade, thumbs up. Drew McIntyre referencing the fact that they actually had a match in NXT and Andrade injured him. Double thumbs up. Yeah, great.
It was great. They referenced it great. It didn't seem like Drew was above Andrade and vice versa. It seemed they were on sort of not level competitive field, but it's like, I'm the champion, you injured me. I haven't forgot about
that. I really like wrestling shows that have a narrative running throughout them. So like when you go to like a local indie show, you might have like this was what they do at quite a few indie shows, especially NGW, which I've watched quite a bit, where they have a champion come out and the challenger interrupts, and then it sets up the main event. Yeah. It it's wrestling booking 101. I really liked it.
It was great. And then we moved on to
positive. I'd never thought of either day. It'll all come to an end soon, don't worry.
And then we did have Asuka defeating Ruby Riott. It's quite a good self this. So Asuka comes out dancing and stuff, and Ruby basically goes, "I want the real Asuka," and that's what she got. Asuka just decimated her. And basically after the match, she just cut a promo in Japanese. Didn't understand what she was saying, but she sounded frantic. Sorry. And what you wanted from Asuka?
It's another big thumbs up. I like Money in the Bank qualifying matches. I just like quality. I like talk. Yeah, I like stakes. It's just the summit to fight for. Riot versus Asuka. Like it just gives Asuka a bit of legitimacy going into the match. Not like she needed it, but you look at it like a bit like the NXT women's ladder match. You look at everyone in there and you think, well, yeah, you've earned the right to be there.
Yeah. After this, we did have the VIP lounge. So MVP announced some of the men's qualifying matches. So the first off was Rey Mysterio versus Murphy.
Monster thumbs up. What a match!
We'll do quick predictions. Who's winning, Mysterio, Murphy?
I'd like to say they should both be in the match, but the answer is Mysterio.
For me, it's Murphy.
Because is it?
Yeah, I don't want to see Rey. Put the younger guy over.
Yeah, but Mysterio isn't retiring anytime soon.
I know, but Murphy deserves being it more than Rey. Rey is great, but I'd rather Murphy.
The Rollins is Messiah's faction ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Mysterio has never won Money in the Bank. He's been off TV for quite a while.
Are you telling me you want to see Mysterio win the Money in the Bank?
If Mysterio won Money in the Bank, I'd be well up for it, yeah.
I I'd rather see someone unexpected like a Murphy win it.
Nah, well, I wouldn't be against Murphy winning it. Like, if Murphy won it, that'd be class, but man, if Mysterio won it, I'd be well.
Other matches announced was Aleister Black, Austin Theory. I think we probably both have Aleister Black there. He's been on a roll.
Yeah, Aleister Black. And
then Apollo Crews versus MVP. The reveal for MVP was great. So MVP starts going and saying the best, and it seems like he was just going to say Edge was going to be in the match, and then he says himself. It was
I always thought it was going to be MVP.
Yeah, obviously, but the way he was doing it was nice little tease.
But
yeah. Some decent matches.
Who wins that one though?
MVP.
Why is everyone saying MVP?
I don't know. I just feel like he will because Apollo Crews just hasn't had anything.
Yeah, but he has though because Apollo Crews went half an hour with Aleister Black last week.
Yeah, but
no. If MVP wins, I'm not. I mean, I know. All right, it sounds a bit hypocritical. Because I'm saying that he should put the young guy over, and here I am saying that Mysterio should beat Murphy.
Yeah.
But MVP gains nothing from winning. Nothing.
For me,
Apollo Crews could have a star-making performance.
Oh, he could, but for me, Apollo Crews just isn't entertaining enough. I'd rather have MVP being this cocky veteran who's like, I've been in matches before, I can do this.
People sleep on Crews because he never gets a chance to shine. If they just give him the slightest bit of character, I'm telling you, people will be into Crews.
Is that a booking problem or is that a him problem?
It's a booking problem because his gimmick is that he smiles.
Well, he's not
given any motivation. He's like Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. We'll talk about him later, but yeah. Yeah. Nah, man. Up the Apollo Crews. I'm behind him.
Okay, after that we did have... So after the reels we had Aleister Black versus squashed Oney Lorcan. Well, not fully squashed, but it beat Oney Lorcan.
Yeah,
setting up the match for Austin Theory.
It went quite quick. Lorcan got a little bit in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean... Wait, this wasn't a qualifier. No, because Black was in Theory.
Austin Theory, yeah.
Yeah, so I like this because it's a step up from him beating random joggers. Yeah,
joggers. He's beating he's running outside and he's just Black massive random joggers.
Yeah, it's a step up from him beating random jobbers because Lorcan has got quite a bit of credibility, sort of. And yeah, it gives Black a win going into facing Theory, and then we'll go on to Theory picking up a win. So two superstars, both off the back of a win, both fighting for a place in the ladder match. Oh God, I'm really liking this episode of Raw.
It was decent. After this, Becky Lynch came out, addressed the future winner of the Women's Money in the Bank. They were just hyping up Shayna more or less with this.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
Baszler was always going to be in the Money in the Bank.
And that's the match we're going to next. Shayna Baszler defeating Sarah Logan via match stoppage. No crowd help with this. So they also made a botch, but Shayna basically just brutalizing Sarah Logan. And then she sort of set him up, and then she just stamped on her arm. And Sarah Logan just absolutely weeping, no sound. The problem is the ring announcer announced Sarah Logan is the winner.
All right, okay.
Which I didn't get. Even they have clarified on the commentary. They were saying no, Shayna definitely won there because Logan will be definitely being able to compete. So I think that's what they were going really for. It was a botch, but Shayna wins. For me, Sarah Logan doesn't look weak as well. I saw something saying Sarah Logan looks weak for this, but she's against Shayna.
Yeah, this was a necessary step to get to where we had to get to.
Yeah.
Well, no one looks weak getting beat by Shayna Baszler because she's Shayna Baszler.
Mm-hmm.
I know Kieran's a big fan of Sarah Logan. I don't quite know why.
Oh, she's good. She's a really good wrestler.
She is, but like out of all the people to get behind. But then again, here I am.
Sacrifice, that's it.
Yeah, each to their own. I'm backing Apollo champion in a year. So
and then after this we did have Austin Theory defeating Akira Tozawa. So if you didn't watch this match, it was great. Austin Theory getting another showcase where he actually gets to win. After the match, it was a good back and forth as well. Akira Tozawa getting a great showing. After the match, Andrade and Angel Garza and Selena Vega come out and they brutalized Tozawa. Great. That was a segment. The biggest thing was Jerry Lawler, the 70-year-old man, Jerry Lawler. So did he do a moonsault or something?
No. I missed this because obviously they put it on YouTube and they're not going to have Lawler saying that on YouTube.
No.
Apparently,
I can't remember what move.
Was it a cannonball? Which is like a moonsault. Yeah,
it was something. And so I was watching Adam Patricia do his reactions, and he had the commentary in the background, and you just hear him go, "Oh, look at that ramen noodle cannonball." Let's say, 'cause I can't remember what the move was, and it goes quiet.
He said ramen noodle moonsault, but it was a cannonball.
And it's like, oh, he's just said that because he's Japanese. Okay, and poor Tom Phillips and Byron probably, I think, just had to brush it under the carpet and sort of just try to.
To all there's people defending it and saying it's
defending it.
It's not racist. No, it is.
It's racist if you make it. People will probably say, "Oh, it's racist if you make it racist." Saying to just say, "Oh, look at ramen noodle." That's got nothing to do with. It's not like they've. It's not like they said Akira Tozawa is a big ramen noodle lover.
It's like when Jim Cornette made that reference about chicken in Ethiopia and UA Power. Like any other company, it was his job.
Yeah,
but
it was. It wasn't a slip of the tongue, but he probably didn't think of it as, "Oh, that's definitely racist." Don't get some buzz.
He didn't mean it badly. He's just come from a different time when you could get away with that. But look, you can't say it. He nearly did it. He nearly did it earlier in the match because in the match against Asuka versus Ruby Riott.
Oh, don't tell me. Tried to say.
No, he just said randomly when. I mean, look at the appearances of both of these superstars, and like that could easily just go quite wrong.
Yeah.
But apparently he sort of held back. But
well done, Jerry. Well done.
It was a good match.
Yeah, it was.
I love all day real superstar Austin Theory.
See, I'm the opposite. I really like Akira Tozawa. I think Tozawa can slowly start being built as this underdog in the mid card. He
can't though because he's never won on Raw.
Exactly. But there were a backstage .com exclusive where he was cutting a promo, just saying like, "I need to start winning," and it sort of I think for me I can get behind him. And Austin Theory is great, by the way. I'm not playing anything past him.
But it's not what I do. He should have never been called up. He's just better served in the cruiserweight division.
Oh, yeah, for sure. After this, we did have Angel Garza defeating Tahuti Miles again. After the match, Angel Garza wins. Tahuti Miles seemed quite entertaining in this match. He's an NXT guy as well.
Yeah, he's cool.
After the match, we did see another beatdown, and it's sort of setting up the new faction.
Tahuti Miles is cool, but he's not quite Angel Garza.
No.
Garza kissing the camera lady.
The Rose as well.
Beautiful scenes. Oh, what a man.
But yeah, it looks like we set that this whole episode was setting up the new faction more or less. And I like that.
I was just going to say it's like it's a running theme throughout the episode. I really like this faction. It's just three cool guys.
I like that they've put
Zelina Vega, and Zelina Vega's cool.
They could have even gone like the Latino World Order or something. But I like that they put Austin Theory in there.
But it worked.
It's random, but then you look at it, it's like, actually, no, these are three cocky wrestlers who are good looking. It's like, that makes sense.
The thing is, though, Austin Theory has it. Whatever it is, he has it. He just needs something to make himself stand out.
And I think this is
Andrade's Andrade. Theory, no, it's not Theory. Garza sort of has got the tearaway pants, and he kisses the women, and do you know what I mean?
He's got that charisma.
All Theory does is he just sort of like wipes down his pecs. Like he needs something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that being in this group will be it. I don't know, but I think being in this group will really help him. Yeah,
but it's not even like he needs to add like a new move to his game because he's already taken the TKO from EC3. But look, like he'll figure it out. He's only 22, isn't he?
He's super young. I don't know. He's very young.
Velveteen Dream.
Well, hold up. Austin.
He might be level with Tyler Burt. Yeah, he's 22.
He's 22. Wow.
But
it must be one of the quickest call-ups in terms of being signed from the Indies, NXT, and then main roster.
Yeah, well, he was. I wouldn't really count him as doing anything in NXT because he never got proper. Like he got given like the Jake Atlas treatment. Not like, do you know what I mean though? Like he had a few matches, although Atlas only had one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like next to Loomis had like one match before he started winning. Yeah.
But we'll move on to the next women's Money in the Bank qualifier match, which was Nia Jax defeating Kairi Sane. Very unfortunate that Kairi had to be sacrificed, but Nia's got a new finisher. It's called the Annihilator, which is the Rampage.
And Nia, that's quite good. I didn't hear them call that.
Yeah, the Annihilator.
Yeah,
that result, I can never get behind Nia for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, but she had to win.
Yeah, she did. She
had. I know what you mean. I like seeing wrestlers added back into the mix, and I was looking forward to Nia Jax coming back. Now she is back. I don't really want to see her win the Money in the Bank. Well, I wouldn't fancy her climbing up the ladder.
No, same. I couldn't. I can't get behind a big person winning. Like if Big Show won it, I'd be like, that's a bit disappointing.
Yeah. There is something about Money in the Bank that's tailored towards
the small guy.
Like when Baron Corbin had it, it was a bit weird.
Yeah.
When Lesnar had it, it was funny, but it wasn't like what Money in the Bank should be.
Yeah.
Like Ziggler having it was the epitome of like
because he was like
should be. He's so tailored to a
champion.
Heel. A tailored to a heel who's not a big guy. Yeah.
After this, Charlotte Flair came out and addressed Io Shirai. Good that the NXT Championship's on a main roster show.
It is, but I don't like Charlotte Flair. I just think she's annoying.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what she does. Like, yeah.
For me, she's good. I like her. Bobby Lashley defeating No Way Jose. So Lashley does get the win. But after, so basically, Lana was doing his thing. It was a roll-up, which I didn't like. I just realised. Oh, no, sorry. It wasn't. So Lana's doing a thing on outside, and Lashley leaves the ring and just goes, just shut up. Just be quiet. Shut up. And then he goes back in the ring and he nearly gets rolled up. He does eventually get the win, but sort of, I'm guessing they're teasing a breakup between Lana and Lashley.
Yeah. That's obviously where this is going.
Yeah.
I mean, my profile picture of the day is the hype man, Leo Rush. Because, look, on Twitter, Leo Rush is desperate for this reunion.
Yeah.
Look, Leo uses social media really, really well. And
He does.
Although he's not going to be the hype man anytime soon because he's not going to work.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
If this somehow, when we do get back in front of arenas, leads to Lashley and Leo reunited, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Lashley.
Like Leo Rush was great as that prick.
And he was just going, look at this man. Show him your favourite pose, Lashley. And then
Lashley didn't have to do much. He just had to be himself, and it worked well.
But do you remember, though, when, like, Lashley would just lean over and slap his arse?
Yeah. Like, it'd be the stupidest thing, but it worked of them just being these cocky heels.
Yeah, you'd have Leo Rush at ringside, like, doing commentary whilst the match is going on the arena mic. Oh, it was so good. Everything Leo Rush does to go.
It was great. Speaking of something that wasn't as good, the Viking Raiders defeated Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. So you've debuted a new tag team? Well, you've debuted a new tag team, and then they've gone and lost. Obviously, I know they're not as a thing here. Like,
I just had it in my mind that Alexander and Ricochet won.
No,
you're right. Yeah,
correct result, because the Viking Raiders should be this big team. But I just feel like it shouldn't be Ricochet and Alexander. I like that it sort of makes sense because they're not really wrestled enough with each other to sort of get each other. But
it's a simple formula. Ricochet wears tights, Ricochet wins. Ricochet wears trunks, Ricochet loses.
Really? Is that... Hold on. Were we wearing trunks? They were wearing trunks, weren't they?
The first time Ricochet wore trunks was against Lesnar at Super Showdown.
And he lost.
Riddick, he got beat by, like, was it Riddick Moss?
Yeah.
In trunks.
Hold up, I can't see.
He got beat tonight in trunks.
Why can't I see Ricochet? Last
week
he was wearing trunks.
It's a simple formula. Like,
well, at least we know what's going to happen now. But we'll go on to the problem.
I was just going to say it's counterproductive. Like, it's not 50-50 booking because they didn't beat the Viking Raiders, but like a loss here just doesn't get Ricochet and Alexander.
No.
Like, why? Like, these, I know you can't have everyone in it because like their mid card is just so stacked, but these two really should be in the Money in the Bank qualifying matches. Like, why have MVP in there when you could have Ricochet?
Because they're a tag team, unfortunately.
But
you've already put them there.
Nah, man. Nah.
But we'll go on to the main event. WWE champion Drew McIntyre defeated United States champion Andrade in the champion vs champion match. Good match. A match that you would expect from both these two wrestlers.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good match. McIntyre hit the Claymore for a win. Look, right.
And he did some stuff with Angel Garza and stuff after the match.
The problem is, I wasn't a fan of them building up the faction all night, only for Andrade to take a clean pin.
I didn't like it. I like it. Yeah. I like it because you've got this faction now, and yes, they've took a loss, but if you told someone, right, just watch this episode of Raw, if you just watch this episode of Raw, you would see your three guys, basically. You'd see Austin, Angel Garza, and Andrade getting these pushes. So even if you watch the main event, yes, they've lost, but you might tune in next week, you think, these guys have got my attention. Like, I want to keep on watching these people, yes, regardless of the result.
Look,
you've got it there.
I get it. McIntyre is the new champ. Got to put him over. Fine. Andrade is the IC champ. He's on a lower level. Fine.
United States, but yeah.
I'd adjust. Is he United States?
Yeah, he's United States. Intercontinentals on SmackDown. Sami Zayn, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, the point remains. But like, yeah, I wouldn't have had a clue. I think I might have done a DQ finish tonight, and then maybe built to a rematch next week and have McIntyre go over. It just feels a bit.
But I think it all led to the aftermatch. So
Yeah, I was just going to say though, like, although Andrade took the pin, that faction has come out of tonight looking stronger than they did going into it.
Yeah, and that's what you want from your live show.
Like, maybe I am being a bit too critical.
Yeah, I don't think you are. But so they
it was quite a good Raw. It was a really good Raw. It just shouldn't have happened.
So basically, throughout the show, Seth Rollins have been cutting these promos backstage, basically just calling himself a failure, and it was really good because he just seemed so down. He was, I'm a failure. I've like, it was just saying everything that she needed to say. He was saying how he got it all wrong and everything, and I thought it was going to be a typical backstage promo. Nothing happened. Then obviously after the match, after the Drew Andrade match, Seth Rollins comes out and basically stakes his claim more than anything. And I like it. Seth is a guy who can... These two can have a great match. I don't think we've seen it before, have we?
McIntyre versus Rollins?
I don't think we've seen it before on the roster.
No, not. I can't remember
it. But yeah, what do you think about... So obviously Rollins attacks him after, and he looks at the title and stuff, hits another stomp before he leaves, and sort of stands over him as the show ends.
I think it's cool. Like, it's a... Look, Rollins lost at WrestleMania, then he beat Denzel Dejanay, and now he's got a title shot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not got it yet.
He doesn't have a title shot.
Yeah, he might have to like do something to earn it, like beat Austin Theory or something. But yeah, I think McIntyre could probably beat Rollins clean, and Rollins wouldn't lose too much because he's Seth Rollins.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think it's a great decision. It's a great decision because you've got your two really hot guys, and it is a very clear heel babyface. It's something that
it's a clear
money. If happens at Money in the Bank, it's fine. It works. Seth will have an excuse to say, "Well, I didn't have AOP. Murphy was in the Money in the Bank match, or Murphy thinger. It was just me by myself."
Murphy won't be in the match because Mysterio's winning.
No, Murphy's winning. But thinking like Seth will have an excuse for Money in the Bank. Drew will beat him, and I'd like to see this Seth of this pastor who is just slowly going sort of into a descent of madness. Yeah. He can't win. He's losing.
He's lost his disciples beside him, like Murphy in the AOP, and he's lost his disciples in the audience because of COVID-19.
Yeah,
and now
basically.
There's quite a lot of room. There's a lot to work with here.
Mm-hmm. And I'm for me, it was a great episode of Monday Night Raw. I'd probably give it a good 4.
It just shouldn't have happened. But yeah, it's a solid 4 out of 5.
It was a very, very decent show. I'm looking forward to Seth and Drew. I'm looking forward to sort of the new faction that's being built. Roll on SmackDown, I suppose.
4 weeks. We've got 3 more Raw for Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Basically 3 weeks until Money in the Bank. But it is that time. We will go into our main event of the evening, which is every week. I give 3 wrestlers.
Get something quickly. Have you watched Stone Cold Sessions with Ric Flair?
No, it is on my list. So is the one with Undertaker.
Right. Okay, it's a really good watch. I watched.
Is it? Is it really good? Right. I'll give it a watch tonight.
Cool.
So basically, it is the main event of the episode. So every week, I give 3 wrestlers. I would give 3 wrestlers, and we have to rank them from best to worst, or worst to best. Not worst to best, sorry, but just rank them 3, 2, 1. In your opinion, who is the best? Who is not as good as the others? This week, I didn't know who to do. I was possibly going to go for 3MB because considering 2 of them are champions, but I thought it was going to be quite easy. So I've gone for, because I looked down, I was wearing a Bullet Club t-shirt. So we will go for Bullet Club leaders. So obviously not current. So we've had 3 leaders, more or less. Not leaders, but we'll say pivotal members of Bullet Club. So you could have had Cody, but I'm going for AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, and Adam Cole.
Sorry, I was just going to say we've got comments.
We do have comments. I mean, I can answer them if you want. Obviously, these guys are my mates.
Right.
So these guys are my mates, but we can answer the question quickly. So Alex said I was at work when he said, "May I have a recap?" He was talking about COVID-19. Well, in fairness, we can have a nice little talking point. Obviously, so if you don't know, COVID-19 has affected all sports, but obviously we are the wrestling podcast. We'll sort of think it. How do you think sort of these companies will sort of because you can't immediately go straight back to like live crowd and keep it going. Do you think we sort of will practically have a hard reset in terms of, let's say they announce that live shows will be back by August the 7th? Do you think on August the 1st episode of Raw, they clean all the feuds that they've done so they can start brand new for when the live show comes in? Because obviously we're going to have a long time of no crowds in the show. No. How do you think it'll work?
I wouldn't do that because, like, they'll obviously, like, it'll obviously become a lot clearer closer to the time when, like, how far away we are from, like, lifting the restrictions. So the closer that we get to the time when we can have fans back in, I think we'll just start booking the way they want to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they'll prepare themselves for the storylines that are going to work in front of crowds.
The thing is, we don't know how long this is going to be. So we could be sat here in a month still talking about how there's no crowds for another 2 months. And for me, it's all to be sure how a show is going to keep their consistent level of production while still maintaining a good show. Like,
I don't know. Like, it's uncharted territory for everyone.
Do you think this is a perfect time to bring back Cyber Sunday? In terms of everyone's at home, so everyone can vote on polls.
For a pay-per-view?
Yeah. In terms of, you have 5 matches on the card that are all decided by a Twitter poll. And they do a Twitter poll, and then that match occurs. It would have to be live. That is a problem you do get, because now with modern technology, you can... I think before they could sort of alter the results.
It's a good idea, but I would not trust the public with anything. I know they've done it before.
Obviously, but I think they'd have to do like 4 specific, like certain stipulations, like it might just be not last man standing, but like a chairs match or a ladder match. What would you rather?
I certainly know that I'd pick the banter option every time.
Oh, same. But it could just, or maybe it's just like an episode of Raw where it's just like you choose all the matches, and so you might get not Halloween, but whatever, like a big thing is, a big celebration is happening. Then you might get one of them wacky matches or something.
Yeah, I mean it could work. It's a good idea.
It is.
Out of all the pay-per-views I'd bring back, I love Halloween Havoc. I know it's got
it's wacky.
I know it's got nothing to do with the current situation, but
it's fun. I bring back the Cyber Sunday for me.
Themed pay-per-views, like
that's what I need.
Flash or Armageddon, none of that nonsense.
Yeah, themed pay-per-views. That's what I need to bring back. But I said earlier, we will go on to my main event. We're going for Bullet Club, big Bullet Club members. So this week it is AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, and Adam Cole. I'll go first while you obviously think of your rankings. So I'm more doing mine based off sort of 3 things: entertainment, wrestling, and I'm going to say tenure. So number 3, my controversial, I'm going for Kenny Omega. Now, Kenny Omega is one of the best wrestlers in the world. But for me, he's amazing at wrestling, but I can't get behind his sort of promos. They're very passionate, but for some reason, compared to the other 2, I don't find them as entertaining. But in terms of the wrestling, he's probably the best one. But I just don't feel as invested with him in terms of entertainment and everything he's done. I think maybe because I used to watch WWE, so I don't have that. In fairness, they've all been WWE while I've watched, apart from Kenny. When I watched New Japan, for me, New Japan, you didn't really have the promo and the storyline aspect. You sort of just had, in terms of you didn't have it visually, it was more like links and connections. So for me, I'm going to put Kenny Omega 3rd. I'm going to go Adam Cole 2nd, just because of when he was in the Bullet Club, he was entertaining. He was a cocky heel. I watched all PWG. He was again entertaining, a cocky heel. There's a whole thing. The thing he did at PWG where he got the ring announcer to say, and when he beats ACH, and he goes, "Whoa, whoa!" And the whole crowd reaction is because he was wrestling Cedric Alexander. It's a thing because they look very similar. It was a thing of he was such a cocky guy and he's maintained it. In the Bullet Club, coming to the end of his tenure in Bullet Club when he was going to WWE, he was still this cocky guy who was trying to take over. Obviously saying like, no, I'm not trying to. He was trying to do it subtly. You had it, and then he's one of my favorite debuts in NXT ever. Of just you hear this like roar of the crowd, and then Adam Cole comes in, that first Adam Cole baby. He, for me, in the Undisputed era, he's just maintained the thinger. I think, unfortunately, he won't have that main thing if he goes to the main roster, but for now, he's been great. And number one is AJ Styles. He's wrestled for so long at such a consistent level. He's been able to do serious. He's been able to do comedy. Everywhere he's gone, I've known who AJ Styles was. Even in Impact, I didn't watch it. I knew who AJ Styles was. New Japan, when I didn't watch it, I knew who AJ Styles was. Ring of Honor, like all these places he's been, his debut is such a great debut. If it was great, better camera work, obviously, you saw Roman Reigns' face. But the AJ debut of just that, yep, oh my God, it's AJ Styles. He's actually here. In WWE, he's been a cocky guy doing stupid vignettes. He's been this serious guy. He's been a champion. He's just had one of the most funniest matches of probably the past 5 years in the Boneyard match. Like, he's so versatile, and yet he's still wrestling at such a high level that not many other wrestlers would be able to do. That's why AJ Styles is my number one. Simon?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm still here. This is quite comprehensive for me. I can't comment on what any of them did in Bullet Club because I'm not cultured.
Oh, yeah, cultured is some people.
It's just about what they did in AEW, NXT, and WWE. Number 3, Kenny Omega. I've been watching him for the least amount of time. He's the best bout machine, but I wouldn't put him in. If I were to list some of my favourite AEW matches, I'm not sure any of his would feature.
Oh,
yeah, like promos. He's not the best. Look, he prides himself on the quality matches, and that's fine. I've been watching him for not even 8 months, like 6, 7. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega.
Number 2, AJ Styles.
Ooh.
Yes, he may have just had one of the greatest matches of all time, in the form of the Boneyard match, and that has come into my thinking. But yeah, I don't know, man. Debut 2016 at the Rumble. It was one of the best debuts. I was excited, and I watched an AJ Styles match. And then he beat Jinder Mahal for the title on that episode of SmackDown, and that was really cool. And then you've had the whole stuff with the OC. Like, for such a short run in WWE, I mean, he's still here, but he's packed like quite a lot in. He had that really good match with Finn Balor at TLC. He had the really good feud with Samoa Joe on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like, he's had a really good run of Styles. But he's not quite Adam Cole at number 1. From the moment Adam Cole came into NXT, wow, oh wow! I don't think I was just drawn in.
Yeah.
It took him a few months to get going, but from the moment he won that first North American title, in what is one of the best ladder matches of all time, and one of the best NXT matches of all time.
It's one of my favourite matches of all time.
5-star Lars. What a moment. And then every single takeover, in the same way that sort of Johnny Gargano had been doing, for me personally, I just knew Adam Cole was going to go out there and have the best match.
Yeah. There was a lot of thing with him. Do you know when he took Ciampa's spot? People say, no, it's not going to be as good, but I genuinely think it was.
His matches against Gargano for the title, instant classics. Just everything, like promo work. He's funny. he comes across. He can do funny, but he can come across as like serious when he needs to be. He can do goofy comedy with the era, or he can go to Gargano's Pizza Factory.
Yeah, that was great.
And he's Frank Gargano. Versatility. He's got one of the best entrances, maybe of all time, and that's entrance. He's got one of the best themes of all time, like Undisputed Era theme, and probably the Adam Cole entrance will go down as iconic. Like,
I think the theme is so good because I just find myself humming along with it.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly the way that Adam Cole's entrance will go, and I can tell you like on what exact beats he'll do what exact action,
and like you can tell how the crowd would react as well.
Yeah, and like I often like wrestlers can get criticised because entrances don't feel organic because they do the same thing every single time. Adam Cole makes it seem normal. He is just like Adam Cole for me will go down as my favourite NXT superstar, maybe.
Ooh.
Obviously, like I'm a big mark for like people like Tino Sabatelli, but in terms of a combination of what they've done in NXT, and my personal preference, Adam Cole's number one without a shadow of a doubt.
I mean,
and he just not that the other two don't, but he comes across as a really just sound guy.
Oh, for me, all three of them do. For me, I just put AJ above just because he's done it at a consistent level for so long that I couldn't understand why he put Adam for sure.
I accept AJ's had a lot more of a legacy and he's been around longer and he's won more titles and all that. But like, I can't comment if I haven't been there and seen it.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's some great choices, and I think let us know in the comments what you think. Obviously, you rank them three because I'd definitely like to know what people think. Because you could put Kenny Omega just for his matches because he has had probably the best matches in the world. But
I think the general consensus will be like if you were to put it on like a poll on Twitter, I think most people would probably put Adam Cole at the bottom. With maybe number 2 and Styles number 1. So yeah, but like for me, I say they're pretty inseparable, but it all just depends on what they've done on the big stage, like the big stage.
Yeah. But
Adam Cole, baby.
That has been the Wrestling Corner. Now, I know what you're thinking. What is the Wrestling Corner? Well, it's a weekly wrestling show on a Tuesday. We talk about everything. Look at that boom. He's even doing the signal. It's a weekly wrestling. I do it, but my laptop is too framey. But it is a weekly wrestling show where we talk about your Monday Night Raw, your NXT, your AEW, your SmackDown, any wrestling news and pay-per-views that have gone on. But then you're on the Sports Corner channel, aren't you? On Mondays, we have a whole career mode, sometimes, depending. Obviously, Josh had some bit issues, but Tuesdays, you do have this one, you have the Wrestling Corner. On Wednesdays, you do have the Top Corner Football Podcast. This week, we are reviewing the League One Team of the Seasons. So expect it to be very stats-based because not many of us watch League One. On Thursdays, we do have the NFL Corner, where Kieran and Will talk all things NFL. I think this week they're doing a mock draft, but I don't know. Just check Twitter. Josh will put it on the Twitter. On Friday and the weekends, it probably is another whole career mode. Find out, react to Josh, give him options, more thingy. But that has been the Wrestling Corner. Thank you, Simon, very much for joining me.
I can't believe we've drawn this out to just short of 2 hours.
I know, same.
How little happened compared to last week.
I know. But we did it. But thank you very much, Sam, for joining me. That has been the Wrestling Corner. And Adam Cole, baby.
Bye.